Hello, I'm Dennis Snow, and this is Speaking of Service Excellence. I consider myself extremely lucky to have started my working career at Walt Disney World. What was supposed to be a 3-month job during a break from college turned into a 20-year career and a masterclass in creating experiences that make people happy. Every part of Disney World is designed to immerse guests into this world of fantasy. Every sight, every sound, every detail is created to make reality kind of fade away and create this sense of wonder. Now, that feeling doesn't just create happy guests. It translates into lots of profit for the Walt Disney Company. For the last 25 years, I've helped businesses apply what I learned at Disney to their own operations. The principles aren't just for theme parks. They work anywhere, whether it's a retail store, a restaurant, a car dealership, or just about any other business. Whether you're creating an experience from scratch, remodeling, or updating your operation, these principles apply. They help elevate the customer experience. So, with that in mind, principle number 1, think of everything from the customer's point of view. Think from the customer's point of view. When Walt Disney was designing Disneyland, his goal was to create a magical experience where everything felt magical, especially for children. The bright colors, the cheerful music, the smell of popcorn, and thousands of other elements were all carefully put together to awaken the child in all of us. One of my favorite examples of this principle involves windowsills, strangely enough. In most places, windowsills are designed to be at pretty much adult height, meaning that children really have a hard time seeing inside. But the Disney Imagineers, and that's what they call their engineers, they designed windows with lower sills, ensuring that even the smallest guest can see inside and experience the magic. Now, while the guest may not consciously notice this detail, it nonetheless adds to the overall experience. Another example is how Disney designs its ride queues. No one enjoys waiting in line, especially families that have small children. With my grandchildren now, I know how that feels. But Disney doesn't just make guests wait. They make the wait a part of the experience. At the Haunted Mansion, for instance, guests can interact with musical instruments that trigger eerie sounds, water effects, and ghostly writing. Now, keep in mind that doesn't eliminate the wait, but it makes it feel like part of the fun. Thinking from the customer's point of view applies outside of the Disney organization, of course. Apple stores, for example, are designed to be inviting. Instead of keeping products locked up, they're placed on tables so that customers can touch them and try them out. Grocery stores that understand that shopping is often a family activity create kid-friendly shopping carts and offer free snacks to children. Now, a way to apply this principle in your operation is to map out the customer journey and identify each touch point along the way. Evaluate each of those touch points and determine what can be improved to make the experience more seamless, more engaging, and more enjoyable. Principle number 2, never let backstage come on stage. Imagine you're at Disney World and you spot Cinderella standing in front of her castle. It's a picture-perfect moment until you notice that she's drinking a cup of coffee, texting on her phone, and smoking a cigarette. Now, at least in my mind, that is not very magical. So no matter how much Disney invests in its parks, no matter how much it spends, if backstage elements come on stage, the illusion shatters. Backstage must always stay backstage. Disney works really hard to keep backstage separate from the on-stage environment because they know that small details can pull guests out of the experience. That's why you'll never see a delivery truck driving through Fantasyland. You won't see cast members walking through the park in regular clothes on their way to work. In fact, Disney built an entire tunnel system under the Magic Kingdom so that things like trash collection, supply deliveries, and costume changes happen out of sight of the guests. So think about how the onstage backstage principle applies in other organizations. Imagine sitting in the drive-thru of a quick service restaurant and staring at an overflowing dumpster because an employee forgot to close the enclosure's gate. It's not very appetizing. Or consider walking into a retail store where boxes are scattered around as employees stock the shelves, forcing you to dodge all of the clutter. When backstage elements creep on stage, it whittles away at the company's image. The key is to identify what should remain backstage and ensure that it stays there. Every interaction, every space, every moment should contribute to a seamless, intentional, and immersive customer experience. Principle number 3, Small details make a big difference. Well, all of the rides and shows at Disney, you might think that the guests compliment those things about their stay, when the reality is that the most frequent compliment Disney gets is about something much simpler: cleanliness. Guests are constantly amazed at how spotless the parks are. Disney parks are famous for their cleanliness, and that is no accident. When I started working at Disney, there was one simple rule that was introduced to me as a non-negotiable. If you see a piece of trash on the ground, it is your job to go over and pick it up and throw it away. And everyone follows that rule. It doesn't matter what your title is, everybody follows that rule, even the top executives. Another reason that the parks remain so pristine is strategic trash can placement. Trash cans are never more than a few paces away from the guests. But Disney doesn't want trash cans to be dominating the scene that you're looking at. So the trash cans are designed to blend into their environment so that you don't see a trash can until you need a trash can. But that attention to detail goes much further than cleanliness. Paint is always fresh, costumes are always neat, music plays at just the right volume. Every single thing, every single detail is carefully managed because everything creates a message. Of course, this principle applies in any business. In a restaurant, if the menus are sticky, or the lights are dim because the bulbs are burned out, or your table rocks because of an uneven table leg, it sends the message that details don't really matter. And that rocking table thing drives me crazy. On the other hand, imagine you're walking into a gym that you're considering joining, where everything is meticulously organized. The locker rooms are clean, the restrooms are clean, the equipment is well maintained, the staff is professionally dressed. These seemingly minor details collectively reinforce the gym's commitment to excellence. The question to ask is this: what message are you sending through the small details? If you take pride in what you do, it will show up in the little things. So there you have it. Whether it's a theme park or any other kind of business, how your customers experience your business affects how they're going to feel about it. When you think from the customer's point of view, keep Backstage backstage and pay attention to the details, you can create experiences that people remember for the right reasons. So here's something to think about. What's one small change you can make to your business right now to improve the customer experience? Well, I hope that these ideas have been helpful for you. If you'd like access to additional resources about raising the bar of the customer experience, please visit my website, www.snowassociates.com. Thanks so much for watching.